that faith, like during a crisis, plays such an important part. You know, in the war, faith was important. In lots of pandemics, faith was important. So what strategies do you think the government can implement to enable the safe reopening of places of worship?
Well, I think that places of worship are perfectly safe, frankly, and always were. I mean, there may be churches, and you may be a member of one of them, where they're always packed on a Sunday. But most churches have plenty of room to spread the congregation around it. I know that there are many evangelical churches Adventist churches that are, you know, absolutely thriving, and you can feel the spirit, and they're packed full. But unfortunately, they're not the norm. You know, most churches in England are pretty empty, and so there's plenty of room. And so I could not understand the need to close them in the first lockdown, or indeed this last lockdown. So I think they're perfectly safe. And of course, I think it's deeply regrettable that we can't sing hymns and really enjoy our worship. But nevertheless, so I don't think that churches are the problem. I think where you'll find the problem is that governments recoil from faith. They, you know, we don't do that. We don't get involved with that. And I've certainly found that in elements of the civil service. You know, it was something you should keep to yourself as a private matter. And I think that's nonsense. You know, faith informs all our decision making. What's more, what are you talking about? We're not a secular society like France. The Queen is head of the Church of England, and we have bishops sitting in the House of Lords, and we have an established church. So don't try and exclude religion from the public sphere. It's in the public sphere and has every right to be. And we shouldn't be embarrassed that people explain what their faith is and tell you what their faith is and practice their faith. It's not something we should do in a corner. And I think we're very, very fortunate, because people do write to me and complain to me about being persecuted for their faith in this country. Yes, there are limitations that we need to be aware of and we need to be wary of, but come off it. You know, you only have to look at countries overseas where Christians are in danger of their lives because of their faith, and enjoy what liberty we have.